Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 458.
458.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. It's hard to believe it's already January 1st, 2023.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. The year is starting off big we've got Pixar Day at Sea kicking off on the Disney Fantasy on January 7th. Then Epcot Festival of the Arts, January 13th, Epcot International Festival of the Arts. And the Disneyland Disney 100 celebration, which starts on January 27th. So that's all January. Check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Head to their website, fill out a no obligation quote. There's so much going on in these coming few months, and especially again Disneyland, because you have the Magic Happens parade coming. You've got Toontown opening coming. You've got the Treehouse, right?
And
opening.
here we have that little roller coaster that's been in progress for a few years.
TRON will eventually open this spring, and we don't have a date on that. We don't even have a date on the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival yet. But if you're thinking about dates yet, head to MEI and Mouse Fan Travel.
So this week we have a lot of odds and ends that we're going to finish off here from the end of 2022. First, we're going to talk about the Walt Disney World Railroad. Here it is. We just happened to be at the Magic Kingdom on the day it reopened.
And that was very exciting to have it open after 4 years. That's a really long time to have it gone. They refreshed the track. They have a new voiceover. There's 4 steam trains originally built between 1916 and 1928 back on the loop.
And I want to say we're looking at the train station here. It looks better than ever. I think this must have been refreshed too. Everything looks new and clean, and they may have moved around some of the little things. What are they called? The little movie projectors that you turn the wheel on?
I'm not sure the name of them. We'll just call them movie projectors that you turn the wheel on. I didn't even spend any appreciable time in here because I just wanted to get on the train. So
well, they used to be in the old arcade. Remember the arcade
I do.
When it existed at the on Main Street?
And that's a really long time ago.
They still have one at Disneyland, though. A small little arcade.
I used to go in the arcade, and I also played. They had arcade-type games around Casey's and such.
Yes, right,
also.
Right. And here comes the train. We're ready to finally take a grand circle tour.
And this is a 20-minute, 1.5-mile journey, unless you take it around a couple times. We rode over to, there's Greg from Chip and Co there. Mm-hmm.
So here we are, we're on the train, and one thing I want to say, very smooth. You can tell they've redone the track because it used to be quite bumpy, but now it is smooth as a rail.
Honestly, it's been so long I don't even remember what the train felt like because
Look at how clean everything looks nice there.
We've been on the Disneyland Railroad since then.
Disneyland Paris Railroad.
Disneyland Paris.
As much as we can when we are there.
Right. So I'm used to those at this point. But it really is nice. There's 3 stations open. There's Main Street USA, there's Frontierland, and there's Fantasyland.
And we're going into Splash Mountain. They still reference it, by the way, as Splash Mountain. You're taking a look at one of the scenes there.
And on the Disney website, it says Fantasyland, but Fantasyland's actually Storybook Circus.
Right, that's true.
So that would be. And just while we're looking here, Walt Disney was a train enthusiast. He had that big train in
his
backyard.
He had to make a deal with Lillian, his wife, though. He had to make a special tunnel so it wouldn't mess up her
garden,
rose,
right?
her prized rose bushes there. So,
I remember that.
Yes. And this is probably the best part of the Walt Disney World Railroad, going by Big Thunder. There's some action there. There's something good to see. There's not a lot to see actually going on this Grand Circle Tour as compared to the other railroads. There's no Grand Canyon Concourse like you have. Not Grand Canyon Concourse. I'm thinking of the contemporary.
Yes. The Grand Canyon diorama.
Diorama, correct, with the dinosaurs and the Grand Canyon. There's also
at Disneyland.
There's also a Grand Canyon at Disneyland Paris, but there's no dinosaurs there.
And Disneyland Paris has the most amazing trees.
Yes.
It's like forest, and just gorgeous landscaping there.
So now we're going to see something that is completely new. You're looking at TRON. Now, you were never able to ride the train and see TRON because TRON did not exist at all when the train was last running. So now you're going to see one of the cars go by, one of the light cycles really quick, and some different views of the TRON area. And there goes one of the coaster cars now.
There isn't much going on in the tunnel, though. I thought there would be a little something, you know,
Yeah, like a little
a little
action, maybe some
surprise.
lighting, or there is some
There's,
spiel. There's spiel that in
yeah.
Tron Ease, but there's no there's no visual
It,
cues in there.
even the windows don't really look out on much. You see the Tron a little bit,
I guess
but
the word is undescript tunnel, something
yeah,
like that.
I was a little disappointed with the tunnel. Very happy to be back on the train. More could have been done, with the tunnel. Like
Right.
when you look at what Disneyland Paris and Disneyland have as far as the Grand Canyon and such.
Yes. Well, here it's transportation. It's not
It's
as.
all transportation. It's all transportation.
And speaking of the tunnel, we are coming out. We're going to take one quick look back at Tron here, the light cycle construction, and then we'll be pulling back into the Main Street, USA Main Street station.
And it was very nice to be back on the train. I actually prefer, like when you go to Disneyland, I prefer the way their trains
How
look
they all
out.
well, most of the trains face to the right because that's where the diorama is. That's
Mm-hmm.
where a lot of the action is. But there is one train at Disneyland that just is like this, where you're going straight.
I forgot about
And
that.
remember, at Disneyland Paris, you're in compartments,
right.
which is completely a different look. I
Completely.
kind of like that compartment as long as you get a good spot.
Yes.
You
If you don't get a good spot, then it's not as good.
So there's pluses and minuses in all the three trains. Quickly, before we walk out of the queue, let's rate all the three trains that we have done. I know there's also a train at Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland, but
Yeah,
the
no,
three
been
we've
on
done, Paris, Disneyland, Anaheim. I would give it to Anaheim number one, Paris number two, and this would be my third favorite of the trains.
Disneyland. And they're all good, but Disneyland still for me.
And because this view we haven't had since pre-COVID, because it hasn't been open, because the train station hasn't been open. So it was really nice to be out here and get these shots. I took some pictures, some video clips. You forget what a gorgeous, beautiful view that is. Now, though, we're heading over to Fort Wilderness. It is time for our traditional Christmas Eve at Fort Wilderness, and they had some Christmas decorations set up here for a party they always have on the beach later on. But we just took the time to get some photos of us with these things.
Well, we were here for the golf cart parade.
Right?
But it was a cold day, right? It was a
Very
cold day.
cold. It was the coldest day of the year, I think. It started off in the low 30s.
I somehow doubt there was a big party on the beach later. Or maybe
This
there
was
was
made out of
but
sand before the day
Yes.
started. It was ice cold, truly below freezing.
It was, we had a lot of cold days toward the end of 2022. Today's a little bit warmer.
Yeah, back to normal. These characters I've never seen before.
The Nutcrackers.
The Nutcrackers, right?
Or
Are they
soldiers.
Nutcrackers?
They're
soldiers.
soldiers. Yeah,
They don't look like they're doing any
For
nutcracking.
for me, Nutcrackers versus soldiers sometimes is a little interchangeable.
But you don't recall this, do you?
No.
So it is definitely something new.
Yeah.
Now we're going to flash back. We had also gone to Fort Wilderness about a week prior to this, and while we were there, we had our traditional Fort Wilderness lunch, and I will let you set that up.
Well, we like to go to P&J's Southern Takeout, which used to be Trails End to Go. Back like 7 or 8 years ago, it's been quite some time since they changed it in 2015. And when they changed it to P&J Southern Takeout, and while we're looking at the chicken and everything, because you know what chicken is.
Yes, it's delicious chicken, by the way.
The P&J honors two longtime Fort Wilderness cast members, Paulette and Josephine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So not everybody knows that. And but I just thought that was really nice that they had done that. But anyway, it's really worth getting the meals.
It's like a picnic. You
Right.
can kind of have your own picnic. They have the tables. Look at this. I mean, what a beautiful view. This view didn't exist in the past. They had a big wall up there, and previous to that, it was the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And it's a better
very
deal
nice.
to get the meal, at least still.
It's a great.
I hope it continues.
Let's not even talk. I don't know why I put it in there.
Like,
Very good deal. One of the best deals. So anyway, it is time for the Fort Wilderness Golf Cart Parade, and of course, it's kicking off by one of the sleighs. You can go on a sleigh ride if you book well in advance.
yes, and we did not go on the sleigh ride, not this year. We have in the past, though, and I enjoy it. So
We're going to just look at a few of my favorite. I did the editing, so we're going to look at some of my favorite golf carts from the parade.
the Christmas Eve golf cart parade is way smaller than the Halloween golf cart parade.
Yeah, Halloween is the biggest, but
Yes.
sometimes the 4th of July one
It's
can be
pretty
the
big, too.
longest. That could be the most carts, but they are usually not as elaborate as Halloween.
And you see that there's not as many guests here. This is a much quieter one, but it's still fun to see what guests come up with.
And remember, it was really cold. Even Santa is running to keep warm. It is so cold.
Yeah.
It was freezing on this day.
This Nightmare Before Christmas one, we had them. They were yelling.
One
at
of them
us.
yelled out, "Make me the thumbnail." So he did. That's how you get the thumbnail. Ask.
And actually,
Next
you got
year,
asked.
we'll have many carts asking for the thumbnail. We won't be able to come through.
And Jeff was standing not with me, and so he yelled at you first, which I did not hear.
Yeah, you were down because we
And I'm
wanted
like-
to have a little different angle.
And then
know.
I had him yell, "Make me the thumbnail" to me, and I was like, "What? Like what?"
It was actually quite comical.
So, but anyway, and I said to Jeff, I was like, "You should make him the thumbnail if he asks."
Yeah, I've never had anyone ask for that
No.
before. So anyway, that was our tradition. We had
We
a great
enjoy
time.
it. Always enjoy
I would
Fort
not
Wilderness.
miss a golf cart parade unless
Unless we're out of town.
Unless we're out of town, which luckily we haven't been. Now we're looking at Epcot. We also went to Epcot very recently, and we decided to ride the monorail and take a look at some of the construction that's going on.
We did not go to Epcot.
We didn't go in the park.
We
just
did not
rode the
have
monorail.
our pass.
We are blacked out at the moment.
Yes, we decided to spend $400 less per person and be blocked out for a couple weeks this year, which I was happy with. But you can still take the monorail, get some nice photos and video of the construction as you're going through
It
the
was
park.
better than going into the park because the park was slammed.
It looked busy.
And we ended up having a good time. This was New Year's Eve. So you could see it was. So that means it was Friday, just a few days ago.
Is that what it means?
Yes.
So there's all kinds of obviously construction going on, including over here Cool Wash. I hadn't realized it.
Yeah, look at that. Everything is out of there. It looks like it's being spruced up.
And well, either spruced up or spruced down.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's true.
I don't know if it's going to be going away or what.
And now we're this is the main event here.
Right. I mean, the Journey of Water inspired by Moana is obviously the big thing here. Although I had somebody on the monorail, she said, "Oh, Encanto." So not.
Well,
and I
if you're
said,
looking
"Oh,
quick,
it's
this could be a
Moana."
giant Encanto in
It's
in
Maribel.
topiary. Maribel. Yes.
So I was like, "Oh, it's Moana," and then her husband looked at her and was like, "Oh, it's Encanto," and I said, "It's Moana."
But it looks really good. I mean, of course, you're really far away. I mean, this is shot from the monorail far away, and when you're up there in person, it's going to be larger than life, way larger than life, and it should be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to this.
And I'm trying to think, the Communicore Hall and Plaza, I believe, is what is over here to the left for festival stuff and everything. So
Do we have an opening date for the water?
the Journey of Water inspired by Moana.
It's a
Later,
very long title.
I think it's like a year away almost.
So the end of the late to 2023?
late 2023. But I don't know what late means. September, October, November, December. So it could be
December 30th.
Could be. Could
You
be.
never know. But it looks like it's coming along. At least we've
Right.
I enjoy this monorail loop, so I guess this will be our thing for this year, riding the monorail and checking out the progress.
And it's a walkthrough. It'll be a walkthrough attraction. So it will be interacting with
pace.
water. So we'll see.
Yeah.
It looks nice and it is coming along.
So while we were in the area, we decided to head over to the boardwalk.
And I wanted to come over here and take a walk around. And part of what we were doing, we took a look at the cake bake shop
The
construction.
former ESPN.
Yeah, right. This was the ESPN club. It is now being demolition is going on it to become the cake bake
It
shop.
looks the footprint though
Yes,
is very
looks similar.
similar. I mean, it looks like they're gutting it. Who knows why? But I mean, I guess it'll be all fresh and new when they're done.
And it will be both a table service restaurant and a bakery. So there'll be both options, which will be nice. And they're going to have, I guess it's, they're in Indiana. They have two locations. And
So this will be their third.
yes, this will be a third.
2023. Do they give any idea when?
I have no idea. It doesn't look like it's going to be open this
Not
winter.
anytime soon.
No. But table service venue with a French flair, which that I would like that. Offering
Yes.
brunch, lunch, and dinner. and a tea service. And I look forward to that.
So now we are getting closer to the actual Boardwalk Resort. We're about to go into the lobby because there is also a new addition. Something new has opened in the lobby here of the Boardwalk, and you can see it still has all the Christmas decorations. It was a beautiful day also.
Yes, and this was actually what we were coming over for.
Carousel Cafe.
Carousel Coffee.
Carousel Coffee.
Not cafe. Coffee.
Coffee,
yes.
That's what I meant.
This opened about a week ago inside of the Boardwalk, so it makes it nice to have a extra little coffee area. Although there's nothing fancy about it.
I wouldn't say it's heavily themed.
No, I don't really understand why they have, Magic Kingdom photos as opposed to, let's say, Boardwalk.
And they're old. It looks like it's from the past to me. Like
Maybe
they're not
the
recent.
1920s, 1930s. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. And we did get one item, a coffee cake. We'll talk about that later. And there is Goofy. See, this is before I think they had a roof. I mean, this is old school. Unless I'm wrong, that does not look like the current Goofy to me.
Is that? Yeah, I guess no.
Right?
Well, it doesn't look like the current anything. So.
And there is a carousel involved.
There is
this
a carousel.
one little picture, so that's keeps the name working.
You know what? It's very. Is the word
Minimalist.
utilitarian? Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Maybe they'll still do more with it.
Well, maybe.
Who knows?
I mean, now we're looking at the seating area. I am convinced this is not finished. Because there's all this space on the wall. You will I imagine you'll see some kind of pictures or decor or something up there. Because doesn't it seem? I mean, if you look at this, it does seem a little sparse.
Let's see how it looks in a couple months.
I like this view though. This is a fine view. You're looking out. You got the beautiful lobby, the tree, all this stuff, and a perfect time to check out our coffee cake, New Jersey coffee cake, where you are from.
I was from New Jersey, and so...
Oh, crumb cake.
Yes, New Jersey crumb cake. My grandmother always had crumb cake.
Unfortunately, the crumb cake was a bit of a disappointment. The cake was good, crumbs not so much.
The cake was great, like very moist, but it was very dry, really dry streusel.
But now we are looking at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort.
Same day.
Same day. Things have taken a turn for the better, though. As soon as we got to the Coronado, complete surprise and delight. Here come the characters. We're just sitting out, chilling outside.
We were waiting. We were having dinner at Three Bridges that night, and it wasn't open yet. We were sitting outside. I'm like, I see Donald Duck inside with his holiday sweater. So we went inside.
And Pluto in their full holiday. There's almost nobody around.
There's like nobody here. Nobody's coming up to them. Anybody who is here is just walking by. And it was
delightful. What a wonderful surprise. I loved it.
It was
and with
fun.
the beautiful decoration. What a great way to end, for us especially, the holiday season. Because we enjoy the characters. And we've had the caravanning of characters. I've never seen more than 2. Here you have 3 in special outfits.
Usually when we've seen the caravanning around the world, we've seen Goofy and Pluto, I believe, together. And no special outfit. So it was really a surprise.
There was one time they had the Easter Bunny. Of course, that was on Easter.
Right.
And that was over at Polynesian Resort. That was the only thing. I mean, this wasn't a special holiday or anything. This was just New Year's Eve. So I would have never guessed this was going to happen.
And this is, I call this the Coronado Springs lobby. Grandestino actually is the lobby.
Yeah,
now this is a former
used to
lobby.
Be the lobby, right?
It's more of a lounge area with that rotunda and then the store and such. And here they head out.
They're off to another resort probably.
Right, the 50th anniversary RV here. And I thought, and you can see the cast members are dressed in outfits from Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
Yeah, what a nice touch. I mean, I still can't believe that this happened.
And I assume that other resorts had more people,
But
to see them.
It's a surprise and delight.
It was really fun.
And this was the main reason we were here. It was Three Bridges. We had been talking about wanting to dine at Three Bridges. It had been closed due to the cold for like 5 days previous. We didn't even know that.
I hadn't known that. So they were just reopening on this day. I've been talking about it for like a couple months going back. We went with Martin Smith back in September.
And that was also a wonderful time.
I love Three Bridges. This is in my top 3 restaurants. Menus changed a little bit. probably a little less, little bit less items, but they still have the steak frites that I love, and
Coconut curry chicken
that's what
is
Jeff
a new
gets.
favorite of mine. Although next time we go, I'm going to try the lamb chop because that's something from the menu I haven't tried, and I think I'd like to try that.
Soon.
Yeah, we will have to go back soon.
You know,
And this was the start of our night here, a sangria.
We bought the pitcher of sangria, rosé. It has rosé wine,
House made, fresh.
Crucian mango rum, and Sky vodka, and really just so good. And it kicked our butts this time.
Let me tell you, maybe because it was brewing for 5 days.
I don't know.
It was a very potent sangria.
The last time I didn't feel like that.
It's a good thing we had a lot of food here. Some guac, some
Yeah.
freshly made guac and chips. Delicious, great way to start. There's your steak
Steak
frites.
and with the paprika on the fries and everything.
And you were going to ask for this sauce off the steak next time. That's a good idea.
I definitely will next time, as long as I remember, because it's a little too much of the chimichurri for me.
Yeah, I mean the steak is absolutely delicious. You know, you brought home maybe half of that steak.
Right.
There is more to it than it looks in this picture.
And
trust me.
They're plating it a little different than before also. And really, your food...
It's huge. This coconut curry chicken, it doesn't look good. It looks great. It doesn't look big in this clip, but in real life, it's a massive plate and a huge amount.
You ate all of it. I thought you were going to bring like half of it home.
That was to soak in
sangria.
All that liquor. That was very potent. We've had the picture of sangria before with Martin and Michelle. Not as strong. It was quite delicious.
It's really good, and we had plenty of time. We sat and we ate and hung out.
Sunset. I mean, look at this.
And
Everything is nicely
walk.
lit.
And
went for a nice long walk. Saw the Christmas decorations. Went to
over at Grand Destino.
And you could see they had the fire. It was still a bit chilly by this time, so they did have the fire and the heaters. But I guess they will only close when it's really cold, like in the 40s.
It wasn't too chilly on this evening, which was nice. It was like perfect weather.
Perfect, absolutely perfect weather. And a beautiful night, really.
Yeah, and I mentioned this is probably with the boathouse, like for a go-to place, this is one of my main go-to places. We don't come here a lot, but I would if I could.
Yeah, I put it right up there. I would choose it for a special occasion or getting together with friends. It's a very relaxed, extremely relaxed, and that's what we wanted with all the hustle and bustle. So
I will say though that Disney's Coronado Springs is a convention resort, so there will be times that it will be. I don't know if it'll be off limits, but. With convention years and such.
There have been times, right, where it's really busy. It's been bought out.
It's only for dinner. Unfortunately, it would be nice if they could make it for lunch too. The food's really good.
And that is another show. We want to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Yes, check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Right now, Becky's been cruising a lot, so
very busy.
They don't only do Disney cruise. She's on like all of the cruises. And so they're cruise specialists.
Adventures by Disney, so many things.
And then just Universal, they go to Universal and research as well, but Disney especially. But check them out. They've been in business. I mean, they're nearing 20 years and really, really been great partners to us.
So we are looking forward to a lot coming up. We, as you mentioned before, we have the International Festival of the Arts at Epcot. So we're going to go over to Epcot this week and see if anything has started, because they have to take down the Christmas and get ready for the art festival.
Well, I think Christmas is probably pretty much gone.
They usually take the tree down previous to New Year's Eve, so it doesn't block the view for fireworks. I imagine the tree is down. Sometimes the tree at the Magic Kingdom is up. Up until like the 10th of January. So that could
sometimes
be...
till your birthday, which is the 8th.
And we will be there on my birthday. And the boathouse. I've chosen the boathouse this year, so that should be a nice place to go. For brunch. A week from today, so I look forward to it.
I love boathouse brunch. I love boathouse all the time, but
I have to have more birthdays. Nice. No, actually, I don't want more birthdays. But any excuse to go to the boathouse is good. And what else do we have coming up?
Disneyland in a few weeks, but I'm not sure exactly what else is coming up this week. You said you have to get your eyes done. We're going to Twisty Treat, but we're not going to talk about that.
Why not? We We should. I should.
No.
We should tell. We should
All
tell
the stuff, right?
You know, Twisty Treat is delicious. I bet you there'd be a lot of visitors here who don't know the goodness of Twisty Treat. Great idea.
We haven't been to Twisty
there,
Treat in like
when
a
we
year.
go to Twisty Treat, I'm going to take a little clip of it. I'm going to show it, and it's right across from Celebration. That's the one we'll be at. So why not go to Twisty Treat?
And yeah, and you know, it just depends this week on what all is coming. But next week we're going to certainly going to talk about Disneyland.
Yeah, the big kickoff,
what's coming.
the 100th.
There's so much coming in the next couple months at Disneyland. So, you know, I'm hoping they're going to give us even more information so that we can share all that, because I think Disneyland's the place to be this year. Of course, Disneyland Paris always too, but you know,
Of course.
but so much is really centered at Disneyland
I suspect
this year.
we'll be at both of those places, those venues you mentioned.
Soon, probably soon.
So a happy new year, everybody.
Happy
Thanks
New Year.
for another great year. And we look forward to hopefully a great 2023 coming up. A lot of stuff going on this year.
Yeah, keep us busy.
That's right. And we will see you all next week.
Have a great week.